When we talk about the future of human civilization, our minds are naturally trained to picture the exact same locations. We think of the pristine, robotic streets of Tokyo, the glowing skyline of New York City, or the glittering, artificial wealth of Dubai. We assume that the ultimate futuristic metropolis, the kind of cyberpunk reality we only see in science fiction movies like Blade Runner, is just a distant fantasy. But what if I told you that the most mind-blowing, architecturally impossible megacity on the entire planet already exists? It is not in Japan. It is not in America. Hidden deep in the mountainous interior of southwestern China is a sprawling, neon-soaked beast of a city that completely defies the laws of gravity, geometry, and traditional urban planning. Welcome to the hidden reality of Chongqing, the largest municipality in the world and the only place on Earth where a high-speed train literally drives directly through the center of a 19-story residential apartment building. To understand why Chongqing looks and operates like a massive glitch in the Matrix, you first have to understand its extreme, unforgiving geography. Most massive global cities are built on flat, sprawling plains or expansive coastlines, allowing them to spread out endlessly in every direction. Chongqing did not have that luxury. It was built directly at the violent convergence of two massive waterways, the Yangtze and the Jiaoling rivers, completely surrounded by steep, jagged mountains and deep, rocky ravines. Because the city physically could not build outward, it was forced to aggressively build upward and downward at the exact same time. The result is a hyper-dense urban jungle of 32 million people stacked on top of each other in a multi-layered vertical labyrinth. It is a city so steep and so layered that it is virtually impossible to ride a bicycle here. There are almost no traditional cyclists in Chongqing, a massive anomaly for any major Chinese city, simply because the extreme incline of the streets would destroy human legs. Because of this extreme verticality, the entire concept of the ground floor does not actually exist in Chongqing. This city is world famous for its massive, mind-bending architectural optical illusions. You can walk into a building right off a bustling, crowded street, take an elevator up 22 floors, walk out the back door of the building, and find yourself stepping onto another completely different, bustling, crowded street with cars driving right past you. You can look out a window on the 10th floor of a skyscraper and see a massive public plaza with trees, benches, and a fully functional gas station resting directly on the roof of the building right next to you. The city's infrastructure is built in 3D overlapping layers, and nowhere is this more terrifyingly obvious than the Huangjuwan overpass. This single highway interchange is so impossibly complex that it broke the internet when drone footage of it was first released. It features 5 distinct, stacked levels of traffic and 20 massive ramps branching off in 8 completely different directions. It is a concrete knot suspended in the sky. Local drivers joke that if you take the wrong exit on this overpass, you won't just be a few minutes late for work, you will be taking a mandatory one-day tour of the entire municipality. Because of this layered chaos, it is incredibly common for advanced GPS navigation systems to completely break down and fail in Chongqing. The satellite simply cannot tell if you were driving on the road suspended 300 feet in the air or the road buried in a tunnel directly beneath it. But the verticality doesn't just reach up into the sky, it digs deep into the earth. During the 1930s and 40s, Chongqing was forced to build a sprawling network of underground air raid shelters directly into the solid rock of the mountains to survive heavy bombing. But in true Chongqing fashion, they didn't just abandon these dark tunnels when the war ended. Today, if you walk through massive metal blast doors built into the sides of the city's cliffs, you won't find empty bunkers. You will find massive underground gas stations, hidden bookstores, and the city's legendary subterranean hot pot restaurants. People sit hundreds of feet below the bustling streets, eating spicy, boiling broth in the exact same stone tunnels that protected their grandparents. It is a hidden underground society functioning right beneath the skyscrapers. Of course, the absolute pinnacle of Chongqing's impossible engineering, the visual that has shocked the entire world, is the legendary Lizi-Ba station. When city planners were expanding the massive monorail transit system, they ran into a seemingly insoluble problem. A massive 19-story residential apartment complex was sitting directly in the path of the new train line. In any other city on Earth, the government would simply demolish the building or spend billions routing the train completely around the mountain. In Chongqing, they decided to do something unprecedented. They engineered the train to pass directly through a massive hole in the center of the building, completely occupying the 6th through the 8th floors. Residents literally live their lives, eat their dinner, and sleep in their apartments while a massive high-speed transit train blasts through their apartment complex every 2 minutes. To make this work, engineers had to use cutting-edge noise cancellation and vibration dampening technology. The train line and the building are technically physically separated by a tiny margin, meaning the train never actually touches the structure. The noise inside the apartments is supposedly no louder than a standard dishwasher, creating a surreal harmony between extreme public transit and private living. Navigating this vertical maze requires more than just trains. Because the city is sliced apart by 2 massive rivers and deep mountain gorges, Chongqing has been forced to become the bridge capital of the entire world. There are over 14,000 bridges within the municipality, ranging from ancient stone archways to massive futuristic suspension bridges that disappear into the thick rolling fog. And when bridges aren't enough, the city takes to the sky. The Yangtze River cableway operates like a massive flying bus. It is a heavy urban gondola system suspended hundreds of feet over the raging muddy water, transporting thousands of commuters through the air every single day. Looking out from one of these cable cars as you float between towering skyscrapers is an experience that completely shatters your understanding of how a modern city should function. But if the daytime in Chongqing is an engineering masterpiece, the nighttime is when the city transforms into a true cyberpunk masterpiece. Because of the convergence of the rivers and the trapping effect of the massive surrounding mountains, Chongqing is shrouded in a thick, heavy fog for more than 100 days out of the year. When the sun goes down, millions of neon lights, massive LED billboards, and holographic displays ignite across the skyline, reflecting off the dense mist and the dark river water below. The entire city glows in deep reds, purples, and blues. The absolute epicenter of this visual explosion is Hongyadong, a sprawling multi-story commercial complex built directly into the side of a steep cliff. With its layered, traditional wooden architecture glowing in bright golden lights, it looks exactly like the magical spirit world from the movie Spirited Away, violently mashed together with the dark technological grit of a sci-fi future. Chongqing is not just a city, it is a glimpse into the extreme future of human survival. As global populations continue to explode and habitable flat space becomes harder and harder to find, cities around the world will eventually have to look at this mountainous Chinese metropolis as the ultimate blueprint. It is chaotic, it is beautiful, and it is mathematically impossible. Yet 32 million people wake up every single day and seamlessly navigate a world where the ground floor is a myth, trains fly through apartment buildings, and the neon future is already a reality. This is the ultimate hidden masterpiece of Asia, the city that completely defied gravity.